This podcast is part of the It Was a Thing on TV podcast network.
But ladies and gentlemen, this is the announcement.
He is the former world heavyweight champion, an Olympic gold medalist, and arguably the greatest wrestler in the industry today. Kurt Angle is coming to TNA.
It's real. It's damn real. Yeah!
Well, folks, we are here for a pay-per-view extravaganza as we have the dream match of the decade of the 2000s as Kurt Angle makes his TNA in-ring debut against the undefeated Samoa Joe at TNA Genesis 2006. Greg here with Dane. And Dane, I'm so excited for TNA Genesis 2006, or as it's referred to in Europe, according to Matthew, TNA Mega Drive.
That always confused me as to why they had to do two different names for the Sega Genesis in North America and the Mega Drive in Europe.
I think because Mega Drive was already copyrighted in North America, which is why they changed it to Genesis.
Okay.
But I'm going to be quite honest, Genesis is a much better name than Mega Drive.
Yeah. Mega Drive sounds like something would be like in Japan. Like how you had, like, with Nintendo, you had them call, like, the Famicom and the Super Famicom.
Whenever I think of the Genesis, you know what I think of? I think of the AVGN Bible Games skit in that episode where he says, we're going to play another Bible game. It's the Book of Genesis on Sega Genesis with the soundtrack by Genesis.
Yeah. I would have made that point even more stand out if he had used backing music of their 1991 single Jesus He Knows Me instead of Invisible Touch as he did.
But let's be quite honest, Invisible Touch kind of works too.
Oh, yeah.
I will say the greatest AVGN episode of all time is Hong Kong 97. We can all agree. We can all agree that James peaked at Hong Kong 97, and after that, obviously, it went downhill. But I will challenge any. Hong Kong 97 is the best thing he ever did.
Hopefully, we'll see now if he'll do the planned sequel for it. That's actually coming out, Hong Kong 2097.
Oh, are we going to get that before GTA 16?
I believe we are.
Oh, you know what pisses me off, Dane? Why couldn't like a promotion like DDT have a wrestler named Bruce Lee's relative Chin?
And I'm surprised that they never did, or even Hustle ever did something like that.
Yeah, I know. Oh, well.
Over here, we could have had Chikara Pro having Clint Eastwood's second cousin's brother, whatever, I forget. I was playing like how you wanted the game like New York 2017, where it was like Clint Eastwood's second cousin's brother or something or other relative was fighting off some aliens from Pluto that were decided to build a ultimate killing machine out of Bill Clinton instead of Bill Clinton.
Oh, God. Yeah, it does sound like something Chikara would have done.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we have to talk about current wrestling. And oh, boy. Nobody watched wrestling opposite the World Series, huh?
No, they didn't, especially here in Canada. I even forewent my usual Netflix viewing of it for games 6 and 7. And baseball has hurt me too much, like all of the other sports have in this country.
Oh, well, it already hurt me like months ago, so whatever. I will say this. I love that freaking Collision did under 200,000 viewers opposite that and Saturday night's main event while CM Punk was winning the world title.
Yeah, and also Jade Cargill winning the women's title off Tiffany Stratton, which is about time they kind of pulled the trigger on a Jade.
Man, what a tough week for Tiffany. She lost that and she lost Kaiser.
Guessing maybe it's that dastardly evil El Grande Americano who's dating that Spanish announcer.
Oh, yeah, probably. But you know what? I do appreciate El Grande Americano. He's got some dating game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hold on. Speaking of AAA, I need to mention that Chelsea Green and Ethan Page won the AAA Mixed Tag Team Championship.
Yes. Off our current favorite, Mr. Iguana and La Hiedera.
I'm watching after the match. Mr. Iguana, even though he lost the match, he was happy in more ways than one I saw.
Oh, yeah. Getting consoled by Loa Vice, which is a good consolation prize. All we need now, I think, is we can get Blake Monroe in with Chelsea Green and Ethan Page, and we can have British North America.
Oh, that would be terrific. It'd be the glamorous British North Americans.
Yep.
I'm all in favor of that.
Yeah. The little nod for the history nerds out there who probably also got excited when the League of Nations was a thing.
Oh, and how can we forget the League of Nations, Dane?
Well, Wade Barrett brings it up almost every time that Rusev's out in his matches, so how could we forget about him?
Oh, well, good on Wade for remembering the League of Nations. Because I haven't.
Yeah. And yet the funny thing is, I believe there was actually the faction called League of Nations in one of the WWE 13 or 14 series games in one of the stories.
Yeah, I think so. I haven't played that game in like forever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, as we're recording this. Oh, Tony Khan had a big announcement on Dynamite. Do you know what that big announcement is, Dane?
I'm guessing it's probably something to do with an upcoming tournament.
Yes! Dane, how'd you know?
Because that's what one of three things is Tony's big announcements. Is either a tournament or new toy that he found is going to debut and then be forgotten about within 3 weeks, or some other bullshit.
Yeah, like the time he feared for his life against Phil Brooks. But yeah, he is getting another championship belt. Another championship. He's bringing back the national title, even though NWA brought that title back years ago. Who gives a shit?
Well, someone must have demanded to have a title, and he didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings, so there you go. New shiny tiny belt for you.
How many championships does this fucking company have? Look, I know WWE has a lot of championships, but at least with WWE, you have 3 different brands, so at least you can evenly stretch them out.
4 if you consider AAA, or 5 if you also want to look into their partnership with TNA.
Unless you're going to do a Dynamite roster and a Collision roster, what is the point of having all these championships?
And wasn't that actually the original plan for Collision? Because that's the first time when Pepsi Phil decided that he didn't want to work with children anymore, so they were going to put the children on Dynamite, and then the adults that Pepsi Phil actually wanted to work Pepsi Phil, and vice versa, were going to be on Collision.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to be. And it would have made everything good, except Jack had to use real glass to annoy Pepsi Phil, but it's like, why do we need more belts in AEW? Why?
Especially when more than I can't even, other than Hangman Page, and that's all I can name for for the men's titles and for the women's, all I can think of is Statlander and all the 50 billion belts that Mercedes Moné has.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's going to win another bout here in Long Island in a week and a half.
And apparently she's winning one in a couple days in Malaysia somewhere.
Oh, wow.
Sometime this weekend.
Oh, geez. How many belts is that going to be for her? Like 20?
I think we're up to 12, I guess, is the unofficial count. Because as we discussed, I think last time, that for some reason they're counting the Owen Hart tournament as a title, and apparently two of the belts that she got in the UK were already merged into one. So it's just gotten ridiculous at this point with that. Like I said, unless Statlander beats her at Full Gear and just decides to open all the belts to the women's division afterwards, that's the only conclusion I can see in this happening. That's the only conclusion I will accept.
Yeah, because I can't see Mercedes going back to these promotions and jobbing these belts. You know what I also don't get, Dane?
What?
Mid-2000s TNA, which is the subject of our episode today.
Oh. It is a weird, convoluted place at times.
Now, listen. We know and respect what TNA did at this time. We recognize that there was a lot of great performers. There was a lot of great matches in this era. But living in at the time and watching this pay-per-view, we're reminded about how, this company, I mean, if they had better management, whatever, this company could have been so much better than it was.
Yeah. Much like the demise of WCW, a lot of the blame can be put on one person. Russo!
Bro, it's
Bro.
me, bro. I'm going to say bro 50,000 times, bro. We're here. It's TNA Genesis 2006 from Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida on November 19th, 2006. So we are here at the Impact Zone for this pay-per-view. And for some reason, we opened this pay-per-view with a shot of Neil Armstrong landing on the moon. Huh?
Oh, what? Oh, they must have taken a page out of Vince's narration from our recent review of the Raw episode there that had the great Macho Man Crush Summit.
Oh, yeah, the great moments in history, like when Reagan stood down Gorbachev.
Yeah. So here again, it's like, man landed on the moon in 1969. Man went back to the moon in 1970. Then nothing happened a lot until this pay-per-view that's giving us the match of the decade.
Oh, yes. Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe. So we're getting ready for our pay-per-view, and here's our opening match, okay? What stellar match do we have opening this pay-per-view? We have a 3-on-2 handicap match. We got Johnny Devine, Maverick Matt, and Frankie Kazarian going up against...
Oh, wait, no, we can't use that. Oops.
Oh, no, we got to use the... What the fuck was that thing they used as their thing? A woman going, help me, please!
Help, police! I'm being Voodoo Kid Mafia'd. Ugh. Right off the bat, we're starting with some Russo-riffic garbage.
Okay, let's explain to our listeners. The Voodoo Kid Mafia is the former Billy Gunn and Road Dogg as BG and Kip James, bitch. And they have declared war, Dane.
Declared war on... Well, I'm guessing since they're calling themselves the Voodoo Kin Mafia, are they declaring this wars against other voodoo practitioners?
Well, it depends, okay? They're declaring war on Vincent K. McMahon.
Oh, wait! Voodoo Kin Mafia, BKM.
Yeah!
Vince barely paid attention to TNA. Why would they want to antagonize him?
I don't know, Dane. They must be so desperate for attention, I guess.
But I think they also decided to target some other people too in this war.
Yeah, we don't have a Scott review for this, but I do have the newsletters for Dave and Brian. So I will alternate between Figure 4 Weekly and The Observer. So I'm going to go with Brian's review for this first, okay?
So I'm guessing Brian's will be funnier than what Dave would have.
Oh, yeah, it'll definitely be funnier. You know, Brian, he watched all those episodes of Impact around this era for our entertainment, damn it, with Vinny B. And you know what? God bless them for that. Voodoo Kin Mafia versus Johnny Devine, Maverick Matt, and Frankie Kazarian. So here's Brian. This was randomly booked to be 3-on-2. It appeared that Maverick Matt and Billy Gunn were having a contest to see who could be more effeminate. I actually think Matt with his tight white pants won. Get this, BG was down selling and decided to do a kip up. He's too fat, so he asked the ref to help him. The ref helped him. He did a horrible kip up and then tagged in Kip. So the gimmick is that they can't even do the spots they're making fun of the other old guys for doing. I love TNA.
But what older guys are they making fun of?
Oh, what older guys are they making fun of, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, Billy hit a pedigree and teased the super kick, but then just tossed Matt outside. Ooh.
You don't suppose they're angry yet? Oh, Sean and Try and running the DX reunion tour without them.
You think that's what it could be, Dane?
Maybe.
Back to Brian. Kazarian hit the ring, so Billy tossed him, and he crashed and burned when Devine didn't even come close to catching him. Whoever was left tried to dive, and Billy caught him when he landed and hit the Cobra Clutch slam for the pin. Boy, that new flock gimmick sure got over. This went like 3 minutes. Afterwards, VKM promised that the ground battle would be starting on Impact. Oh, yeah, so I got to play with you the post-match promo with Kip and BG. Let's see who they're going to be challenging, Dane.
Yes.
I know you've lived through it before, but cut the music. Well, here we go. BG James is going to tell us what's going on. Vincent K. McMahon, Michael Hickenbottom, and Paul Levesque.
Wait, I know that one guy is obviously Vince, but who are those other two men, Dane?
Paul Levesque? Michael Hickenbottom?
What kind of a name is Michael Hickenbottom, Dane?
I'd change my name to something a bit more marketable if that was my government name.
Oh, yeah. I really want to have a name that makes me out to be a sexy boy.
Yeah.
Last week, Thursday on Impact, you got our declaration of war. Well, friends, that was just verbal combat. So I promise you this, Vince, Paul, and Michael, now the ground war begins. Gentlemen, gather around the groove tube on Thursday night, because I promise, baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet. I know where I'm going to be Thursday night. I'm going to be glued to my screen watching Impact on Spike TV. BG James just sent out maybe a little warning shot. You hear what he said? You ain't seen nothing yet.
My ass, Mike, you're going to be watching Impact on Spike on Thursday night.
Well, technically he does work there, so he has no other choice but to watch it, so.
Yeah, but it's taped, Dane.
Oh, great.
Brian gave this a half star, and then let's see what Dave gave this. He gave this 1 star. Okay, but who comes out after the match to lay a whip? Who was it that got whipped with kendo sticks?
I believe it was former 1999/2000 Stampede Wrestling standout Johnny Devine who got the whipping.
Oh, yeah, he gets the whipping all right. And who comes out to give him the whipping?
It's Raven!
What the fuck was Raven wearing?
It was like when he first came out in like a white suit and I saw like a black handkerchief, I was like thinking, like, was the Hope D'Angelo De Niro already in DNA at this time? Because he's got a walking stick too, like almost But yeah, no, it's Raven coming, and I guess never really understood all this stuff with Raven and his new stable serotonin.
Wait, that was the name of the
Yes,
faction,
that's about that.
Serotonin?
Yes, it was. And people want to crap on Retribution and or Darkseid as bad names. They are, but
That is terrible. Why the hell does Raven have like a freaking thing over his face? Like it would make
I
sense if this was 2020, but it's 2006.
yeah. Unless you saw maybe I don't know, was Jimmy Jacobs doing the whole emo stuff in Ring of Honor at the time? So maybe this is his. How you doing, fellow youngsters?
Oh, he was doing the whole Steve Buscemi on 30 Rock. How you
Yep.
do, fellow kids?
Yes.
Yeah.
Still trying to remain relevant with the kiddos.
All right, we're backstage with JB, with Shane Douglas, and the Naturals. And they're going to be facing, I guess, Team 3D. Wait, are Team 3D here tonight?
Nope. Apparently they're in Japan.
Oh, no. Why, Bubba and Devon? Why are you in Japan tonight? I'm guessing freaking Baba's wife gave him like a lot of money. No, wait. Hold on a second. It wouldn't be Baba. Okay. Wait, who the hell was no? Because that's New Japan. What? Who the hell was giving New Japan Team 3D money at this time to go work there instead of TNA tonight?
I think that would have been probably. I think around that time it probably would have been some kind of combination of Chono and Buddha, maybe, because I know Inoki was finally gone, and I think he was actually in Japanese Parliament at that time.
Yeah, because when was Inoki Gino?
I think it was shortly after this because I remember talking before about because that's when we get the because I think Brock Lesnar ended up winning the belt and him and Kurt Angle ended up having a feud over it.
That's some weird shit, Inoki Gino. If you ever get to watch it,
and even weirder if you think about that, he wanted probably everyone to fight on his private island.
Oh yes, before freaking Dana White made everyone fight on a private island during COVID. Antonio Inoki did it first. All right, so we have the Naturals against what an oddball tag team we got here. Sanjay Dutt and Jay Lethal.
Probably leftovers, probably the X Cup tournament. Because Sanjay Dutt's still got his America tights on.
Yeah, and Jay
hasn't quite found the joy of impersonations yet. So
yeah, he needs some little machismo, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, a little yes. Or he needs to get into a woo off with Ric Flair as well too eventually.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll have that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me go to Dave for this review because I don't really want to talk about this very long. So I'm going to go Dave short. Can you imagine this, Dane? Dave actually wrote something that was short.
Wow. Seems like the older he gets, the more long-winded he gets, maybe.
Possibly. Chase Stevens and Andy Douglas beat Sanjay Dutt and Jay Lethal in 8:17. Shane Douglas was in the Naturals corner as opposed to in the back. Team 3D was in Japan for Hustle, so they couldn't appear in this show. Okay, so that explains they were working for Hustle this night.
Okay.
Lethal and Dutt did a double dive at the start with Dutt going over the top of a flip. Most of the match was beating down on Lethal. Shane Douglas distracted Dutt. The finish was supposed to be Stevens holding Dutt up in the air for Andy Douglas to use a missile dropkick. Andy came nowhere close and actually dropkicked Stevens in the back. But they sold it like he hit Dutt and Dutt was pinned. It had been a good match until the finish. 2.25 stars. And I should note that Brian gave this match a 1.25 stars. And it should be noted that Brian really fucking hated the Naturals. I mean, really fucking hated this. And let me just read what he says here. Okay, hold on a second. At one point of this match, Brian writes, I'm still laughing about the idea that BG is too fat to do the spots he's spoofing. He also says the audio was horrible during this match, like they were doing this from the Sports Byline studios or something. Oh my God. Oh, what a dig at Brian's own employer for Observer Live right there. And that sounds like something Ron Barr would have done, by the way. So I'm not going to disagree with him on that. So we're going to go to the back for a promo with JB, with LAX and Conan. You know what, Dane? We didn't forget about Conan this pay-per-view.
No, we didn't. No. He's right front and center and cutting a promo that would be just as relevant today as it is then.
Oh, yes. What is he talking about? Well, you're going to find out.
Oh, yeah.
I am backstage with the Latin American Exchange and Conan this last Thursday night. What a shocking turn of events, the three of you vowing to burn the American flag. However, it was the Canadian Petey Williams on hand to save the flag from being burned. And as a result of his efforts, he received a severe beating at the hands of Latin American Exchange and you, Conan.
That's right, like a true Canadian. Petey Williams is a coward. He had a change of heart, but it doesn't matter, Petey Williams, because if you want to be part of a country that sends its soldiers to Iraq to get slaughtered under false pretenses, if you want to be part of a country where no longer does the government serve its people, but it serves big business in the military, because we've seen that here. War is profit. You go ahead, it doesn't matter. In America, keep sending your emails, long-distance phone calls, telegrams, whatever it is that you're doing, it doesn't matter. Because if you try to stop us, remember, we're American citizens. You're infringing on our constitutional rights. So tonight, we will burn the flag, and there's nothing any gringo can do about it. AMW, they say that revenge is a dish best served cold. LAX, we're cold-blooded, 5150. If you think what we did to AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, and Gail Kings was something, haha, you haven't seen anything yet. Watch as the ambassadors of violence, LAX, turn up the level of violence.
Rumor has it backstage, Jim Cornette is here to represent TNA management. We're hearing huge ramifications after what you tried to pull through.
Screw Jim Cornette. He can't tell us what to do. That gringo asqueroso, ese puto, he can't tell us anything. We don't take no orders from no white boy. Órale, arriba la raza.
Wow.
Oh, man. You know what? I got to say, it's funny that he's cutting this promo and we're recording this the day after Dick Cheney died.
Yep.
Did you see who's the guy that took that picture of Mustafa Ali about it was something along the lines of the guy whose name I can't freaking pronounce who won the mayoral election won and
Zoran Mamdani.
Oh, I can never pronounce his name.
Yep.
I have to learn that for the next 4 years. How the hell do I not butcher this guy's name for 4 years? Okay, so who's the guy next to Ali that made that post? Because I saw on Instagram that it went viral.
I'm not sure.
Okay, hold on. Of all people who shared it with me, my brother shared it with me, for crying out loud. So hold on a second. Mansoor posted that.
Oh, Mansoor.
Yeah. Well, good on you, Mansoor. I mean, I didn't like Dick Cheney either, and I'm not crying about his death, but
yeah,
okay. You be you, Mansoor.
Yeah.
At least we get a little payback on the wrestling community to Curtis Leland for ruining freaking Big Boss Man's career with the Guardian Angel gimmick.
Oh, yeah, thank God.
Oh, yeah. You were actually stunned, Dane, to learn that Curtis Leland was the founder of the Guardian Angel.
Yes, I was, because like I said, my knowledge about them only really came from Big Boss Man portraying the Guardian Angel, and then, like I said, the parody of them that appeared in Grand Theft Auto 4, that were kind of like a paramilitary group that just basically was, their main excuse was just to beat up the foreigners.
Yeah. Oh, well, enough about talking about the New York City mayoral election. We're a wrestling podcast. We can't talk about freaking New York City politics this freaking episode. We got to talk about 2006. And we got to talk about the
TNA.
Yeah, the pressing issues. We have freaking Conan wanting to burn the flag, and we have Chris Sabin not respecting the X division. Apparently he has some beef with Jerry Lynn.
Yeah, as well as not respecting the apparently returned back to action Christopher Daniels, who's also the current X Division champion.
Yeah. So we have Christopher Daniels against Chris Sabin, a battle of Chris's for the X Division title. So let me go to Brian. Chris Daniels versus Chris Sabin for the X title. Match was fun early. Nowadays, it's like a game to see how long it'll be before bullshit ensures. I would bet money this match does not end without some sort of interference or hijinks. Sabin tried recreating the old Kurt Hennig spot where he takes a turnbuckle while bouncing on the bottom rope, so he gets flung into a flip bump out of it. I never knew that move was so hard. He finally drop kicked Daniels off the apron and got the heat. They did a great spot. Daniels was outside saving the heel, teased a suicide dive. He stopped at the ropes, though stepped outside and did a double sledge instead. Yay, Chris Sabin. Sabin applied a nerve hold. Sabin did his drop kick into the corner and then threw a chair into the ring. Well, here's your interference. AJ Styles ran out and confiscated the chair. Sabin, distracted, got wiped out by a Daniels dive over the post to the floor. Daniels made his big comeback and ran wild. Lots of great near falls at the finish. Daniels hit the BME and set up for the Angels' wings. Crowd chanted, "This is awesome." Sabin slipped out and hit his killer high kick into the corner. He went for the cradle shock, but Daniels crucified him, reversed another roll, and got the pin. That was great. 4 stars. And let me see. Dave gave this 3.5 stars, so Brian actually gave this a better rating.
Yeah, well, it was definitely a definite highlight reel type match for sure.
So Daniels gets the win, but oh no, Dane. Chris Sabin's going to get a chair.
A chair again?
Oh no, what's he going to do? All right, let me play this.
Wasn't. Wait a minute, Sabin coming into the ring with that steel chair. Here comes Jerry Lynn, and he took the chair right out of his hands.
You know that Jerry Lynn knew that he would do something like this if he lost. This guy, he just can't accept it. Jerry Lynn.
Oh, let's appreciate, Dane, that Jerry Lynn's not going to stand for this bullshit.
Nope. He wants to see the code of honor respected and honored here.
Wait, Dane, this is TNA, though, not Ring of Honor.
Wow, I'm sure that all these people have somehow cross-pollinated with Ring of Honor somehow.
Is Chris going to listen to Jerry here and is going to shake Christopher Daniels' hand?
Let's find out.
And he's telling him, shake the hand. If you don't do anything, reach out and shake his hand. And there he puts the hand out.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about. That's the mutual.
Oh, thank God, Dane.
Okay, cooler heads have prevailed.
Oh, yes, thank God. Oh, all right, let's go to our next segment coming up right here.
Oh, no way.
Oh, no!
Cradle shock from Sabin onto Daniels.
Oh, no. And now Jerry's like, oh?
Oh?
His face he makes in 47-20.
It's almost looking a little bit like Rob Van Dam here with his hair all ponytailed back.
Oh, but Dane, I think we got something coming up here. Mike Tenay is going to bring us up to speed about.
Okay.
We bought into his crap. Let's check out the latest from Paparazzi Productions. You can't trust that kid.
Oh, we're going to check out the latest stuff from Kevin Nash and Paparazzi Productions.
All right.
With Alex Shelley and Austin Aries, who's going by Austin Starr at this time. And let me just say, we got to one day, I think we got to do an entire episode about Paparazzi Productions.
Yes. Up to and including the Paparazzi Championship Series.
Oh, what maybe one of the best things TNA ever gave us was the Paparazzi Championship Series.
Second best thing, because I would say the best thing would be Joseph Parks.
Oh, Joe Park Esquire, yeah. Hey, we're going to be seeing his brother in action later on tonight.
All right.
Yeah, we're going to see Chris Abyss.
Chris Abyss.
All right, so let's go to Kevin and company here.
Guys, I got a bad feeling about this one, man. You're just not with me tonight. I got a bad feeling about this one. Guys, we're in a tailspin. We got to come out of this funk. We need to win bad tonight. Can I count on you guys collectively to give me 90%?
I can give you at least 90%. I don't know about downward spiral over here.
Hey, I always give 100%. He'll give you 70. That'll equal 90.
Kevin,
Have we put the wrestling thing, the wrestling court behind us yet? Is that gone?
Of course, I put that behind me weeks ago.
If he'd pay me the $100, I'd put it behind me,
You
too.
paid him?
The check's in the mail, buddy.
Oh,
Okay? Check your box.
Check your box.
Check your box. Lock it up.
Exactly. Listen, guys, if you just follow my lead, you guys will have careers like some incredible stars that I've been a part of.
Like Lasertron?
Nelson Royal,
George Scott,
Pork Chop Cash?
Don Kernodle,
George South,
Brody Chase?
George South,
Reno Riggins.
Hector Garza?
Italian Stallion.
Guys, we can go on forever. The thing is tonight, we need a win. At all costs, we need a win. Guys, can we get in here on this? Come on, guys. Get in here.
You going? I'll go in.
I'll go underneath here.
It's 1-1 for Bo.
Schembeckler?
Derek.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You like that? Like that? Yeah.
All right, let me just. All right,
That's gonna sound interesting on audio without having the video context.
all right, let me just explain. Okay, Kevin, Alex, and Austin all put their hands together, like 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, and they just kept moving their arms back and forth while doing those sounds. Now, okay. I appreciate that Kevin is paying respect to his alma mater by wearing a University of Tennessee 47 brand hat that he probably got on lids for like $10 or something. But I need to mention the best part of this is Kevin saying, let's win this for Bo. And Alex refers to Schembeckler, referring to the former University of Michigan football coach, before Kevin says, no, Derek. Bo Derek.
Oh.
Let me just say this. Kevin Nash is so great when he does this shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so this leads us to our next match as Alex Shelley and Austin Starr take on Ron the Truth Killings and Lance Hoyt.
What's with these random tag team combinations?
This is like so weird. Like Ron Killings and Lance Hoyt.
I barely remember Lance Hoyt. Used to tag with Matt Bentley back in the day, and we had the Bentley bounce.
Yeah, I do remember that. I think Lance Hoyt is wearing a custom Frankfurt Galaxy NFL Europe jersey.
That's even just as random as this pairing.
I know. Oh, well, the best part is we got Nash at ringside here.
Yeah. Looking like a high school football coach.
Oh, definitely, with the Tennessee hat on.
Yeah, and he's also, unfortunately, he's got his arm in a sling there, too. I think he humorously tells us a story of why he's injured. Mike Tenay doubts its legitimacy.
You know what? Let's hear from them. Let's go to Kevin with Mike and Don.
Well-oiled machine tonight. This is nothing but a victory.
I don't know about communicating better. You guys played the wrestler's name game pretty well. All right, you've got to explain it. What's the story behind this sling on your arm?
I was in Japan 2 nights ago defending my X Division title in the Budokan. Went for a 375 Black Hurricane twist. Ended up on the floor. Finished the match victorious.
That's not what I heard.
Yeah, I know. It's your story, and you're sticking with it.
Actually, it happened during the Tet Offensive.
What have Nash been his... I mean, I know the old guy out of touch gimmick right now, but was he old enough to be in Vietnam?
He would have probably been, I think, 10 during the Vietnam War. Because I think Nash was born in like 59, wasn't he?
I don't know how that'd be something to look up.
Let me just wiki Kevin Nash real quick. Kevin Nash. Yeah, July 9th, 1959.
Wow.
All right, so he's 66 years old. You know what that means, Dane.
What does that mean?
He's going to have a nice birthday on July 9th of 2028.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
Or he'll have a better birthday next year.
Oh, yeah, 6. Now, don't even get Mike started on 6'7". He's got to do the whole thing with his students about 6 and 7. So I think he said this on It Was the Thing about it. In fact, I'm going to let him know. Hold on a second. Mike, we brought up 6'7" in our Square Circle Time Machine taping tonight. I don't know if he's going to respond tonight, but oh, well.
We'll see.
We'll see. Now, let me go to Dave for the review of the Lance Hoyt, Ron Killings against Alex Shelley and Austin Starr match. Lance Hoyt and Ron Killings beat Alex Shelley and Austin Starr in 11:03. They did a backstage deal where Nash told Shelley and Starr to win it for Bo. Shelley asked if he meant Schenbeckler, the longtime University of Michigan football coach who had just passed away. And Nash said, no, Derek. Bo Derek, who was a short-lived movie star, hot blonde around the time Nash would have been in college. I appreciate, Dave, that you tried to lecture us about who Bo Derek was.
Yeah.
Nash's arm was in a sling from his recent shoulder surgery. He sat in for commentary. Killings did a leg drop off the top rope to Shelley's groin. Starr did a cool tope in the sense that you didn't see it coming onto Killings. Hoyt had his knee worked over. Shelley told Starr to get the video camera ready as he was going to finish Hoyt. He went for the spinning toe hold, but Hoyt reverses it into a small package for the pin. Star and a half. Now, hold on. I want to read Brian's review of this because Brian went more detailed about this. So hold on a second. Okay, here we go with Brian's review. Nash did commentary for this match. Both Truth and Lance Hoyt danced during the entrance. Okay, this was awesome, and I take back anything bad I might have ever said about Hoyt. Nash explained that he hurt his shoulder doing some wacky spot in an X-title match at Budokan. That's not what I heard, said Don Rest. This show rules. Nash said he was calling a mandatory meeting on Thursday for all current X Division athletes. I can't wait. We're watching the replay right now. And all I can tell you is that I got a piece of feedback, and the very first line was, what the fuck? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh. The spot where Hoyt went up for a moonsault and Shelley crushed him and the bad guys went to work. He's no Kevin Nash, Nash screamed. And he said that was funny for a number of reasons. Okay, so now we're going to go backstage to Christian Cage here as he's in action tonight against AJ Styles.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this match for both. And also, nice to hear from Christian cutting a promo that doesn't involve someone's dead dad.
Oh, yeah, you ain't kidding. Okay, so let's go to the back to JB and Christian.
I am backstage with Christian Cage, set to do battle tonight here at Genesis, and my question for you is this. Have you become so consumed with being the #1 contender that you've made the mistake of overlooking AJ Styles tonight?
Made the mistake? I don't make mistakes, JB. Mistakes are for losers. And in case you were too busy applying your eyeshadow and putting on your lip gloss, you'd realize that Christian Cage is undefeated in TNA. I overlook no man. And it's obvious that AJ Styles isn't overlooking me because in case you missed it, he jumped me during the pre-show. But you can't really fault the kid now, can you? I can't really fault JJ trying to get one up on me. But you see, AJ, the difference between you and I is this. When I have a problem with somebody, I take care of my business face to face like a man. Did you just roll your eyes at me? Did you just roll your eyes at me? If you ever roll your eyes at me again, I'll tear your face off and I'll wipe my... AJ, it's like this. I've put together myself a little victims list. and you just happen to be the latest addition. But fear not, because you're in some pretty good company. Because you might be forgetting what I did to Sting when I cracked him upside the head with a guitar, or when I beat Jeff Jarrett for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. You don't see him around here anymore, do you? Or when I beat Abyss, or when I embarrassed Rhino in his hometown, or I crushed him inside of 6 sides of steel barbed wire cage match. AJ Styles, you're just one of the many of a long and growing list. And you're about to find out firsthand why I am the biggest star in this industry, the biggest star in TNA. And remember this, Abyss, Sting, whoever walks out of there tonight as the World Heavyweight Champion, know that Christian Cage will be waiting on the other side. And this time I'm not waiting for my title shot. I'm taking it! Because if you don't know, now you know.
Now you see, Dane, that's how British Bulldog should have approached getting his title shot.
Yes, he should have.
Just waited in the wings.
Wait in the wings and take out everyone one at a time.
All right, so here we go. It's AJ Styles against Christian Cage. And oh, before I get to the match, I do appreciate that the spot where JB during the interview was doing the rolling eyes. I actually laughed during that. That was pretty funny. I will say JB has been a highlight whenever we've done TNA, and even when we've done the WWA pay-per-views a while back.
Yeah.
He was like the highlight of those.
Yes.
So let's go AJ and Christian, and let me go to Brian's review of this. Dueling Let's Go AJ and Let's Go Christian chants. AJ's body is starting to look like mini Chris Benoit from a few years back. Remarkably similar. In fact, now I should note, Dane, this is 1 year before.
Yeah. Or at least a year removed from being in a post-Benoit world.
Oh, yeah. You know what's so funny, Dane? This morning, his name was recently brought up in an episode of Chad Powers.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, the character on Chad Powers, who's like the asshole assistant coach, has an idea to pitch for a movie, and it's a biopic about Chris Benoit. I'm like, holy shit! I actually said that.
Oh, I wanted to pitch a movie idea to you. A biopic about Chris Benoit. He's the wrestler that killed his wife, kids, and then offed himself. What do you think?
Yeah, it's great, but this is College Game Day.
Yeah, I love movies. Days of Thunder, awesome. Awesome.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
That was a real thing that happened on a show in 2025.
I thought my idea of making a Lifetime original movie about the whole story was in poor taste.
All right, back to Brian. The one thing about AJ is that when he screws something up, he's remarkably adept at saving it. I guess it's because his style is such that he's probably screwed up a lot of things over the years and has learned ways to make it work. They did an electric chair spot that was totally flubbed. The only reason he knew it was flubbed was because Christian landed in a completely awkward manner. AJ did a flip dive and hit both legs on the guardrail. You would think that after 4 years, AJ would start picking up his spots better or taking less idiotic bumps, but you would be wrong. AJ hit a backbreaker, but then missed a frog splash. Christian went up top for something, but AJ cut him off and hit a Hurricane Rana. He made a comeback, and it was freaking great. Christian speared him to death right onto his head and neck, but AJ kicked out. This is great. Please don't fuck it up with a run-in. Christian went for the unprettier, but AJ cut him off and hit his Pele kick for a near fall. He went for a springboard, but Christian caught him in midair and powerbombed him for a near fall. Christian grabbed the chair. Well, here comes the run-in. It was Chris Daniels to take the chair. He had a tug of war with Christian, and they were fighting. AJ went for a sunset flip. Christian hung on, but then let go and dropped down and hooked AJ's legs for the pin. 4 stars, according to Brian. And Dave gave this 3 3/4 stars.
I was not disappointed with that match at all. Had high expectations, and they were met exceptionally for that match.
Now, going to Dave's review, Styles and Daniels argued after the match, and then Sanjay and Jay Lethal came in to try and calm it down to no avail. Then Rhino came out in his lone appearance, cutting a promo telling them to put it past them and shake hands. Styles called Rhino Dr. Phil, refused the handshake, and stormed out.
Yeah, that was completely random, but I'm guessing this does build up towards a AJ Daniels feud for the X title down the road, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so we have a promo backstage with JB, with America's Most Wanted and Gail Kim. So let me get to let's see here. I'll get to Brian's review here because I don't think Dave mentioned it in his review. So AMW cut a promo vowing to beat up LAX and prevent them from burning the American flag. This is quite the quest here to burn this flag. AMW said there was more than titles on the line today. James Storm explained that the First Amendment protected you from the government, but not from AMW. He also made fun of a number of different minorities all in a 30-second span. This set new standards for something. The funniest was watching the look on Gail's face as he buried Asians. She's Korean.
Why was Gail Kim associated with America's Most Wanted at this time?
I think she had been associated with them for a while at this point, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So LAX are the current NWA World Tag Team Champions. So AMW are challenging for the belts here. Hold on a second. Conan's going to cut a promo to the crowd here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I wonder, is he going to burn that American flag, Dane?
He's going to burn it now, right in front of everyone?
Well, I mean, it is 2 weeks after the 2006 midterm, so it's not like George W. Bush has suffered enough this month.
We didn't like. They've got to play a little bit of a safe game that LAX is going to play.
Well, check this out. Conan's got the flag, and we're going to hear from him.
I want all you idiots to understand one thing. Tonight, TNA and Jim Cornette, I hope you understand the legal ramifications if you infringe on our constitutional rights. We are protected by the First Amendment. We will desecrate this flag. And there ain't
Oh, God. Hold on.
The one fan sign there that's LAX, where's your green card?
Oh, God, in 2025, that's so horrible. Oh, God.
And then there's another sign that says, I heart Hernandez, call me.
Oh, well, that I appreciate that. At least Hernandez is sexy enough that this one fan's like, call me. Hernandez should be damn proud of that.
Yes. The future Supermex has got himself a fan.
Or at least one rat.
Yep.
All right, let's go see if Conan has anything else to say to this crowd.
that can do anything about it. Orale!
Well, I'll tell you what, America's Most Wanted is going to try to do something about it. And they just decided the best way to shut him up is to get the action going, and they go right after him, and you can see.
I love the freaking ref. It's like, oh no! I gotta get the belts. I gotta hold them up.
Yeah, just carry on with your fighting around the ringside area.
Oh my god! All right, so let me go to Dave here. Homicide and Hernandez at first retained the NWA tag titles over Chris Harris and James Storm in 923, but after the match, we're stripped of them.
Oh god, this made absolutely no fucking sense.
Oh man, we're gonna get into that, but I gotta get to the rest of Dave's review. The team started out brawling fast. Match had great heat, but at times wasn't smooth. There were things that didn't click, and Homicide was working with a fever. Mostly they beat on Harris. AMW went for the death sentence, but Hernandez tossed Harris off the top rope. AMW did the heart attack spot on Homicide for a near fall. Later, AMW hit the death sentence, but Conan distracted ref Andrew Thomas. Homicide then hit Storm with the blowtorch and got the pin. Conan laid out Harris with his loaded sock. After the match, Homicide had Gail Kim up in the Gringo Killer, but Petey Williams ran in and made the save, hitting Homicide with a pipe. And then, okay, what happened next, Dane?
Oh, God. Well, we get representing TNA management coming out, James E. Cornette. And he decides, because of LAX deciding to threaten to burn the flag and some other chicanery, heel shenanigans that he has decided to strip them of their titles. Much to the dismay of the crowd for some reason, who chant bullshit.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, why couldn't Jim Cornette do this before the match?
Exactly, that too. And he's giving him till the next Impact to hand over their titles or face even more consequences. So they're still the champs, but they still have possession of the belts.
Okay, Dave says at the beginning the crowd was 100% into Cornette. Then Cornette said TNA manager was stripping LAX of the belts. At first, about 75% of the crowd turned on Cornette. When he said he wanted LAX to bring the belts to Impact this week or they'd be fired, it was 100% booing of Cornette. Oh, and this was a 2.5-star match according to Dave. What did Brian? Brian gave it 3.25 stars, so Brian liked it actually better.
Yeah, but it was an all right brawl. I forgot how much I liked the Cowboy, Storm, and the future Braden Walker as a team.
Oh, yeah.
Other than playing Damsel in Distress, Gail Kim served really no purpose because I thought it would have made sense if the LAX had like whoever that was, Salinas, I think was her name.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because it made no sense to have her out there Damsel in Distress, which is kind of interesting given Gail Kim's recent battle on the Twitters against the AEW Sickles, because she dared to question why 98-pound soaking wet Riho can be a legitimate threat to Mercedes Moné.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Brian said regarding the Cornette segment, yes, the man behind Smoky Mountain Wrestling and the Gangstas was so outraged by the behavior, he was stripping them of the titles. Yes. Why?
Yes, and that there too. Like, why is he against the LAX now when he allowed New Jack and Mustafa to do all their crazy shenanigans on Smoky Mountain TV?
Oh, you got me, Dane. Next, we're going to go to the back as James Mitchell is going to cut a promo with Chris Abyss on Sting.
Oh, God. I unironically loved this promo. I had between Paul Bearer and Kane flashbacks and even going further back to mid-80s Stampede Wrestling with Zodiac and Jason the Terrible.
You know, I think this is the first time we brought up James Mitchell on this podcast, but let me just say, I love James Mitchell. I loved him as Jimmy Vandenberg in WCW. I loved him as Sinister Minister in ECW. And I loved him here with Abyss and TNA. So,
yeah.
Anything he's done is automatically great. So, except if you're
except being the coke dealer for NWA to Sam Hain.
Oh yeah, to cost Billy your TV deal.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to Jimmy and Abyss.
Sting, you claim to be a warrior of the light and a decimator of the darkness. Well, I'm curious, Sting, why are you so afraid of the dark? After all, by your own admission, when you were at your most successful, when you were a wrestling icon like none before, you were wrapped up in all of the worldly pleasures and sin, the vice, the corruption of the world. Now, what changed, Sting? Do you think that just went away? Do you think you just said your prayers and it disappeared? Of course not. It's still in there, and that's what you can't stand. That's why you're afraid when you look at my monster Abyss. That's why you know that you'll lose the World Heavyweight Championship to him, because you know that looking into Abyss, you see your own inner darkness reflected back at you. And Abyss is going to open dark corridors in your mind. My monster Abyss is going to teach you to dig into the reptilian part of your brain. You'll question everything you believe in. He'll take you down the highway to hell, and you will go willingly. But in your defeat will come knowledge. Will come a sort of freedom. You see, you'll be thankful, and you won't thank your creator. No, you'll thank the man that you consider to be the embodiment of evil, The very man who beat you into a state of enlightenment. My monster Abyss, the next NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
I love that at the end of that promo, Abyss sounded like he was taking the world's most painful dump on the toilet. But what an awesome sight that promo was.
Oh, yes.
Jim was cutting his promo with Abyss holding the baseball bat.
Yeah.
Just fantastic. Okay, here we go. Let's go to Dave. Abyss versus Sting for the NWA World Heavyweight title. Sting used the Mosquito right away, but missed the Stinger splash from the barricades. Abyss used the chair. Sting came back with 3 Stinger splashes and later did a frog splash for a near fall. Abyss went for a belt shot, but Sting ducked him and put on the Scorpion Deathlock. Abyss made the ropes thanks to Jim Mitchell. Then Abyss used a black hole slam, but Sting kicked out. Ref Rudy Charles was bumped, and Sting poured thumbtacks all over the ring. Okay, now, Dane, watching this match, I'm like, okay, Abyss is going to do a thumbtack spot here onto the thumbtack. Yep. That's what I was thinking. But no, Abyss chokeslams Sting right into the thumbtack.
Oh.
And I was like, I did not expect this.
I was not expecting Sting, who is literally my mom's birthday twin. Like, they both share the same birth date and same birth year. So I can't imagine my mom in 2006 doing something that crazy.
Oh, yeah. I can't imagine that either, but I gotta appreciate Sting. I gotta respect him.
Fair play to Sting taking that spot.
Oh, yeah. He didn't have to do that spot. And you know what? I love that fact that he got up and was like, that didn't faze him at all. I'm like, oh, man. That just shows how awesome he is. Like, not even thumbtacks are going to bother him. Okay, Dave says this match didn't have that much heat, but the place came unglued when Sting took the bump, figuring he'd never do it. He got up with dozens of thumbtacks sticking all over his back and made a Superman comeback and put on the Scorpion Deathlock again. Abyss was tapping, but no ref. Sting then put the Scorpion Deathlock on Mitchell as he tried to interfere. Sting took Abyss outside the ring and tied him up on the thing that allows him to come down from the ceiling. This was one of those deals where time stood still because he took so long in tying Abyss up. Yeah, if you remember the spot in WrestleMania 10 where Randy Savage was trying to tie up Crush?
Yep.
That's what it was. That's what he was trying to do to him.
Not realizing it was going to take time to properly fasten Abyss up to this device.
No. Okay, Sting then pulled the cord out from the other end as Abyss was hanging in midair upside down. He had one of those nasty-looking growths on the side of his waist. Sting hit Abyss several times with chair shots. He then untied Abyss and brought him to the entrance ramp and teased throwing him into tables covered in barbed wire. Now, let me note, Dane, Abyss set those tables up earlier in the match.
Yep.
Dave did not note that, but yeah, Abyss set up these tables earlier in the match for something.
As if he was going to perhaps send Sting through those tables.
Rudy Charles tried to stop him, so Sting knocked down Charles, who called for the DQ. Sting then threw Abyss off the stage area through the tables covered in barbed wire on the floor. The storyline they were trying to get across was that Sting had gotten so mad that he'd become a different and more violent Sting. 2 1/4 stars, according to Dave. Now, Dane, Sting gets disqualified. So what happens here, Dane?
Well, under normal circumstances, Sting still retains the title. But apparently, TNA has some weird rule that I guess you can still lose your title on a disqualification. So, hello, NWA World Champion Abyss.
What the?
Brian says, so I guess in some DQ match where write this all down, since Russo, that asshole, didn't provide us with 3 screens detailing the rules. It is okay to lay a hand on the ref if you're pulling the ref out of the ring to break up a pin, but not okay to lay your hands on the ref if you're trying to stop him from DQing you. Sting threw Abyss off the ramp through the table afterwards, so it gets better. The ref came out and announced that per the rules made 4 years ago and never mentioned since about how the belt can change hands on DQ, Abyss was the new champ. This gets negative stars for insulting my intelligence like few matches have in the last few years. And Brian gave this negative 2 stars.
Oh, God. Yeah, everything up to the thumbtack spot and afterwards was just what the hell was going on here? Between tying Abyss upside down on the device there and then throwing him off the stage. I mean, this is like classic Russo overbooking, in my opinion.
What are you going to do? Okay, so here we go, Dane. We have our big main event of the show. It's Kurt Angle making his TNA in-ring debut against the undefeated Samoa Joe in the dream match of the decade. Now, Dane, Kurt had just come into TNA, I think, as a surprise at the end of No Surrender 2006. They made that big announcement at the end of the show. He was the ref at Bound for Glory in the Sting Jarrett match. And then him and Samoa Joe have this beef. And it's culminating into this big main event.
Something has to give.
Yeah. So here we go. It's Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe. Well, it's not for anything. It's just,
bragging rights.
Bragging rights with Joe's undefeated streak that he's had for a year and a half in TNA on the line.
I wonder if Bill Goldberg had a problem with Samoa Joe's undefeated streak.
Oh, Bill's going to have a problem with that. And you know what? I bet you Brett's going to be like, who's bitches too much about undefeated streaks? That son of a bitch, Bill Goldberg. You know what? Since JB has done such a great job on this pay-per-view, I want to hear him do the ring announcing. You know what? I think this match, I wish the Zinc, if he was still with us.
Oh, yes.
Can you imagine him doing this?
But in the spirit of the Zinc, we have the JB.
Yes. So let's go to the JB to do the ring introductions for this match.
All you, JB. The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is your Genesis main event of the evening. When the bell rings, the man in charge, Mr. Earl Hebner. And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from Universal Studios Orlando, it's your Genesis main event. Introducing, first of all, standing in the corner to my right. He weighed in this morning at 280 pounds and comes to us from the Isle of Samoa. For 18 months, he has been undefeated in TNA Wrestling. He is the undefeated Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing his opponents. Standing in the corner to my left, he weighed in this morning at 232 pounds and is professional wrestling's only Olympic gold medalist from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This is Kurt Angle.
Quite simply, the most anticipated match in the near 5-year history of TNA. And we're underway. Here we go.
And you know what? Mike wasn't kidding about how this is the biggest match in the 5-year history of TNA at this point.
Yeah, it definitely was a highlight, and it was definitely worth the hype.
Yeah. So, all right, what do you want to do? Do you want to do Brian's review for this match, or do you want to do Dave's review of this match?
Let's do Brian's.
Okay, so let me do Brian. The first thing Jerry Borash did was announce that Earl Hebner was the special referee. Crowd chanted, "This is awesome" at the lockup. It worked for Joe versus Kabashi in ROH. This is not that.
Oh, I forgot why I hated shows like some of this indie stuff like this around this period of time, was stuff like that.
Yeah, not everything is awesome, guys. I know we want to think it's awesome, but it really is not.
Nope.
They then chanted, "Joe is going to kill you." Angle clotheslined him outside early, and as they were brawling on the floor, Joe grabbed him in powerbomb position and swung him headfirst in the guardrail. Fuck him up, Joe. Fuck him up. This was not the heat, though. They fought more in the ring, and then Angle speared the post, and Joe wiped him out with a dive. If you thought Kurt Angle was going in at less than 100%, you were a fool. He's going about 150% so far. Joe threw him into the steps, and it looked like he goddamn near killed him. Angle came up leaking blood from his forehead. Kurt Angle doesn't look right, Don West proclaimed. Yeah, well, also remember, Kurt, I think, as we saw in the intro, was wearing a bandage on his head.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure how there must have been like maybe some storyline or a legit reason. I don't know why he has the bandage over his head, but back to Brian. Joe was tearing at the cut and rubbing blood over his body. Crowd was totally into this. Angle finally gave him a tornado DDT so powerful that it knocked over the cameraman filming it. Angle made his comeback and hit the rolling Germans. Joe was supposed to flip over the third one and failed, but did twist enough so that he landed right on his face. I screamed in terror. Angle went for the slam, but Joe arm dragged him and hit the hard knee into the corner. He hit an enziguri and set up for the muscle buster. Kurt actually took it. Every bump he takes, I cringe. Angle kicked out. This is awesome, chant. Joe went for the choke, but Angle rolled out of it and hit the slam. Joe kicked out. Make him tap, chant. Angle took down the straps and put on the ankle lock. Crowd was going crazy. Joe fought and fought and fought, then switched into the choke. Angle switched back into the ankle lock. Joe rolled through and Angle hit the buckle. Joe rushed in, but Angle moved and hit the post. So Angle gave him the Olympic slam, put the straps up, pulled the straps back down, put on the ankle lock, and scissored the leg for the submission. 4.25 stars.
Oh, yes.
And I gotta say, what a great ending to that match.
That was a phenomenal ending. Like, it was... What a way to end the match, though. Like, it was helping put over Angle's tenacity. And, yeah, good way to debut Angle in TNA.
So we were watching a bit on the screen share. There was a great camera cut by the director. Angle on his back on the ground, holding the ankle. And then Joe's trying to crawl the ropes. He's desperately trying to grab the rope to stay alive. And then he just has to give it and tap, and Earl has to call for the bell. And the crowd, they were like people in the front row. They were going nuts for the finish of that match.
Yeah, they were for sure.
And I guess there was a "You tapped out" chanted Joe afterwards.
And Joe decides to ask for he's man enough to admit that he was defeated, but if Angle is half the man that he thought he was, he wants a rematch.
No, Joe, he beat you.
Well, yeah, it looks like I kind of like that Angle looks like he's going in for a handshake to agree, and then he just does the whoops, psych, and leaves the ring.
And I got this pause at 2:38:34. This shot of like Kurt's bloody up face with the mouthpiece on. He looks like, okay, do you remember the game Boxing Legends of the Ring?
I vaguely remember it.
Okay, they would have this thing on the top left, top right of the screen of the boxer's face as you were like fighting the person, and you'd see it all get beat up during the match as it progressed. That's what Kurt's face looks like right here.
Oh, God.
Now, I do appreciate this little bit of continuity, because when Kurt Angle was in ECW briefly before he left WWE, he had a ECW mouthpiece. You remember that, Dane?
Yes, I remember that.
So now in TNA, he's got an Impact mouthpiece on.
Yep.
So yeah, nice little bit of continuity there.
Glad to see he changed up the branding. And thus begins the run of Pete Angle.
That's right, Pete Angle. Let's never forget that. And we show some respect, because obviously now people are recognizing, oh yeah, this was in fact Pete Angle, not Perk Angle. It's Pete Angle.
Yes.
And let's see. Brian gave that 4.25 stars. Dave gave this 4.25 stars too. So yeah, Dave, what a shocker. He did not give this 4.5 stars. He did not give this 4.75 stars. He just went 4.25.
And then Dave's star rating system will be totally obliterated within 15 years anyways, after he starts deciding all his buddies deserve at least a 4-star minimum.
Now, I should also note, Dane, this pay-per-view aired the same week as UFC 65. And this was the pay-per-view where George St. Pierre won the UFC welterweight title. And I was like, wait, is this the pay-per-view where George St. Pierre begins that long reign with the UFC welterweight title? And I'm like, no. Because I looked on Wiki, and no, that's not until like 2008 where he starts the long reign with the UFC welterweight title.
Okay.
So, yeah. Let me just see. I have the poll results from the Observer, so let me see. Thumbs up, 144 people gave it a thumbs up, 92 gave it a thumbs down, 40 gave it in the middle. And let's see, 190 people had Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe as the best match. 45 went with Christian versus AJ, and 29 went with Daniels against Sabin.
I would say out of those three, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, that order.
Yep.
The worst match, 157 people went with Kip and BG James versus Kazarian, Divine, and Bentley. 32 people went with Hoyt and Killings against Starr and Shelley. 29 people went with Abyss against Sting. And 28 went with the Naturals and Dutton Lethal.
I don't know. I think the Sting match deserved a lot more out of it than I thought it gave us, I think. I think people may have hated it more so because of the BS DQ ending to it. But yeah, all the tag matches were just, except for LAX versus AMW, they all seemed like pointless filler. The only thing, at least out of it, at least with Shelley and Austin Aries versus Hoyt and Truth, was at least Kevin Nash was there to help be there and be his cool, smarmy self.
You know, it's a shame, Dane, that Alex and Austin, they didn't win it for Bo Derek.
No, poor Bo.
Yeah. Oh, well. Oh, I have the rating because this pay-per-view was a couple days after their first airing of Impact on Spike TV on Thursday nights from 9 to 11. So do you want to know what the previous week's Impact did in the ratings, Dane?
I would be curious. How did it do?
Dave said it drew a 1.02 rating and 1.2 million viewers.
Wow. Both AEW and even TNA today would kill for those kind of numbers.
Oh, God, you ain't kidding. And back then, people thought, 1.2 million viewers. That's pathetic.
They're going to be dead within the year. Somehow they kept on chugging along somehow.
Yeah. And they're still here today. And you know what? For some reason, it's like, okay, AEW would kill for 1.2 million viewers today. I can't believe in 2006 we thought, 1.2 million viewers. That's nothing. That's terrible. And now, what is your normal Wednesday Night Dynamite rating get?
I think anywhere between 5 to 800,000.
Well, Dane, you're not including the millions and millions of people that watch on HBO Max.
Oh, yeah. How dare I forget about them?
Yeah. You know, the millions who watch AEW and HBO Max, defying everything that else is on HBO Max.
Yeah. Oh.
I will say there was some good stuff on this pay-per-view, some bad stuff on this pay-per-view. It was an okay pay-per-view.
Yeah. Definitely brought up on the strength of two of the matches. Styles and Christian, and of course, Joe and Angle.
Okay, so that will do it for this episode. But in our next episode, the Squared Circle Time Machine game, we're going to continue the Masked Man arc. And we're going to go to Jacksonville, Florida, for
Oh.
Clash of the Champions 29.
This sounds interesting.
Yeah, let me see what we got for this show. Okay. Our main event of this show is going to be a 6-man tag team match. And it's going to be, the Hulkster, Sting, and Dave Sullivan against the Butcher and his group of not Earthquake and Kevin Sullivan are calling themselves the Three Faces of Fear.
The Three Faces of Fear. Well, that's an odd name for them.
Yeah, it is an odd name for them. Well, let's see what else we got. Oh, we got Vader and Dustin Rhodes on this clash.
Oh, we get Vader versus Goldust about 5 years before they had their feud.
Maybe I think 3 or 4, but who's
Yeah.
counting? Well, oh, crap. We got Johnny B. Bad in the honky tonky van again. Okay, well, we'll take the good and bad, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right. So next time here on the Squared Circle Time Machine, we continue our story. Well, now he's butchered the friendship, Dane. He's not a masked man anymore. He butchered the friendship with the Hulkster.
He's now a butcher man.
How does he go from being a barber to a butcher?
That's a good question.
So we'll be back here next time with Clash of the Champions 29, right here on the Squared Circle Time Machine. That was Dane, and I'm Greg, and we'll see you with that episode next time. Have a good rest of your day, everybody.